Hello, and welcome back to Don't Just Sit There, Do Something for climate news, science, and easy ways you can help. I'm Joylette Portlock, and today's topic is natural gas. Does that mean we have to do fart jokes? No. Good, because if jokes were food, then fart jokes are kind of like Twinkies. I mean, everybody says they love them, but really they were kind of gross, and they only barely even qualified. Worldwide, climate pollution levels went up in 2011, but US pollution actually went slightly down, in large part because we shifted away from burning coal for electricity to burning natural gas. Natural gas releases less climate pollution when it's burned than coal or oil, the other fossil fuels, and burns much cleaner with very low amounts of toxic contamination. It's cleaner, and there's a whole lot of it here in the US, buried in the rock about a mile beneath several northeastern states in what is called the Marcellus Shale Formation. We only recently became able to cost-effectively extract it using a process known as hydraulic fracturing, or fracking. Okay, from that map, it looks like Pennsylvanians have the most gas, followed by West Virginians, and then Ohioans and New Yorkers are a little less gassy, but still have enough gas to put everyone else to shame. Hey, wait a minute! But regulation of fracking at the federal level hasn't caught up to the impacts expected with so much new drilling. There isn't a fossil fuel out there that is good for the climate. Natural gas is the least bad, but that doesn't automatically make it good enough. Fine, Dr. Wet Blanket. The fact is that even if we switched from coal and oil to natural gas for all of our energy uses, and I mean for everything from keeping the lights on to keeping our cars running, we'd still be putting 4 times more climate pollution into the air than the level we need to avoid the worst effects of climate change. So what you're saying is we're not going to solve the problems we have because of digging stuff up and burning it by finding different stuff to dig up and burn. Exactly. There are a lot of reasons that the extraction process from Marcellus Shale isn't so great. It uses a stew of toxic chemicals and pollutes a lot of fresh water. Each well pollutes millions of gallons a day, and already thousands of wells have been drilled. Underground wastewater disposal has led to earthquakes, and disposal in rivers has led to pollution problems. Determining the risks and figuring out how to reclaim or recycle the water are active areas of investigation. Meanwhile, President Obama, in his second inaugural address, insisted that climate action will be a priority of the administration. Time will tell whether his words lead to action and how much of that action will involve fossil fuels, including natural gas. There have even been claims that drilling has contaminated some residents' water supply, even leading to water that you can light on fire. What? Okay, I mean, I can see that being kind of fun at parties, but the rest of the time, I think you kind of prefer to be able to drink the water. Is now a good time for viewer questions? Because it seems like every episode we put out, we get a response from someone who wants us to talk about the impact our diets have on the climate. Sure, and it's actually a really good point. I mean, it takes more than twice as much energy and 10 times as much water to produce a pound of beef as a pound of beans. A meat-centered diet does have a bigger climate impact, but that's a topic worthy of its own episode. Don't worry, it's coming. If you want to make sure that we don't just try to trade one fossil fuel for another and instead create a complete path for solving the climate crisis, don't just sit there. Do something. Every episode you get 2 easy actions, one to make a difference in your life and another to push for bigger change. First, the easiest way to produce less climate pollution from fossil fuels is to simply use less of these fuels for energy. It's winter, and heating your home is a big expense, so set your thermostat to 68 degrees or lower. Most of us can't wear a tank top outside in February. Being comfortable inside certainly shouldn't require one. With a winter-appropriate thermostat setting, you will save some climate pollution and save yourself some cash on that heating bill. Secondly, President Obama and his administration have some important decisions to make about how we're going to fight climate change. We need more renewable energy and an electricity grid that can handle it. Help encourage them to take more action. There will be a huge climate rally in Washington, D.C. on February 17th. Even if your participation isn't an option, you can still tell Obama you want action by clicking the link below. Let President Obama know how you feel and set your heat to 68 degrees. In other words, don't just sit there. Don't just sit there. Don't just sit there. Do something. You can follow the show on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, YouTube, iTunes, or on the web at DoSomethingAboutClimate.com. So watch again and tell your friends. I mean, I know we want viewers, but there's got to be a better way than fart jokes. No fracking way.